Morning folks, this is Mike again from the Nerdist Colony, and today we're taking on a legendary journey for the artifact weapons for the Assassination Rogue. Warning, warning. Full disclosure, although I have had a rogue for over 3 years now, he has generally been my farming character, and out of the 3 specs I've only ever played Assassination, so please forgive my naivety. However, saying that, I hope you enjoy the video. So, what's it all about? We're going to take you on a journey for the Kingslayer daggers. A pair of sexy looking weapons for a rogue, coming in at item level 750. These artifact weapons, for me, just seem to be some kind of hybrid system to get the player to put more time and effort into the game, to give you a feeling of more being unique, which is a great addition to the game. And of course it helps Blizzard fill their Scrooge McDuck vault, so they can all go dive in our hard-earned cash. Anywho, back to the story. When I got my key for the beta, I was more concerned about doing beta testing. Well, because at the end of the day, that's my job. That's what I've been given the responsibility to do. I didn't realise, however, what a difference it would be when the talents were reset. I had to admit I was pretty much knocked back with the changes on the rogue. If you're not in the know, which pretty much was me, Assassination rogues are the only rogue spec that have poisons and bleed effects, which pretty much throws the spanner in the works for all the other specs as a rogue. At the moment I haven't played any of those other specs, but I will get around to doing it, I promise. We'll talk a little bit later about the talent trees, but I have to say that I pretty much just rushed some points into the tree just so I could get playing. For the purposes of this video though, let's just make some logical skips. For starters, Dalaran is now floating above Karazhan in the Deadwind Pass. I have no idea, and as far as I can see, Google doesn't have the answer either, but it's there anyway. And also, not getting too much into spoilery mac spoil. Some bad shit goes down in the pre-event to Legion. Those demon homies roll up and shoot some 9s. Needless to say, there's a Legion scenario event that you've got to actually complete, which will explain it all for you. So we're jumping forward 30 minutes, and now we've arrived at Dalaran. Upon flying into the centre, you meet Khadgar and his buddies, who are summoning a massive arcane spell to move Dalaran to the Broken Isle. The city is under heavy attack by Legion Star Destroyers. Yeah, I couldn't wrap my head around that one either, but suddenly we've got inexplicable spaceships firing green fell upon Dalaran. And there's a sense of urgency that you must get shit sorted quickly before somebody busts a fell ball in your ass. Okay, now I'm getting silly here, but when you only have part of the law, you have to make shit up. Now I've had a chance to play 2 or 3 classes in the beta, you quickly come to realise that as soon as you've completed this pre-mission, upon handing the blink of an eye quest in, you'll suddenly be absconded by one of your class heroes. Let me reassure you, it's pretty much one of the first things you'll do on Legion release, which I guess should be okay. It shouldn't cause the problems like other expansions have with lag. Your own personal NPC requests your presence at the Hall of Shadows, but first you have to find a shop and utter the words, "The Raven calls." How very rogue-esque. Fast forward 2 minutes. Once you take your seat in the Hall of Shadows, you're introduced to the mysterious group, who call themselves the Shadows, the leaders of the Uncrowned. When I read this, I spat coffee through my nose, thinking of Cliff Richard and the Shadows. I was imagining them breaking out into songs singing, "We're all going on a summer holiday." Yeah, okay, I get it, I'm old. You're quickly made aware of this shadowy organisation, who use varying underhanded methods to secure their place within the world of Azeroth. Most of all, which is secrecy. The events of the Broken Shore have forced the Council's hand, and now the time for subtlety is over. Now don't get me wrong here, at this point I know you're going blah blah blah, so we'll skip forward. It's not long before you actually choose your specialisation of your weapons. Forgive me again for my naivety, I'm not sure yet if I have to complete a quest line for each of the specialities. So as I previously mentioned, I've only ever played Assassination Rogue before, so I decided to go with that one. Stick with what you know, I guess. Next up, you're dispatched with a mission of utmost urgency. You're sent to the Blasted Lands to kill somebody. Now, okay, I didn't say this shit was original. Now, just bear in mind, though, guys, something I didn't actually realise when I first started playing on the beta, but there's portals to these certain areas within inside of Dalaran. When you return back to the centre of Dalaran, you're teleported into a room with these portals, so just be aware to keep that in mind. So far on the beta, I've only managed to complete the quest lines for the artifact weapons on I'm going to say 4 character classes. But it seems Blizzard have took the character laws and actually entwined them into these types of missions. The Warlock one feels very demon-esque. The Demon Hunter feels very anti-demonic. And the Druid questline seems very entrenched in Moonglade lore. So it was of no surprise that this was pretty much just a hit list of assassination contracts. The first NPC on the list in the Blasted Lands, as I previously mentioned, was quite a toughie, I have to say. With a class with a new playstyle. His self-healing was totally annoying. So maybe get a little bit of practice before you go actually out into the world. Upon that, you dispatched to Duskwood to, well, you've guessed it, kill somebody else. And then you sent to Darkshire to pick up some items and kill somebody else. However, that doesn't go so well for you, as you can only get him down to about 25% before he stuns you and then runs away. Now, from this point, this is where it actually got fun. And what I mean about that is just that I don't think I've ever felt so invested in my character's well-being. You're sent to the Gates of Stormwind to meet up with Garona, who quickly tells you to run ahead and do your thing, and she'll follow on afterwards. But as I ran into the Gates of Stormwind, suddenly I ended in a scenario where all the guards became attackable. I was quickly approached by Commander Shaw, who essentially told me and Garona to go and take a walk and play with our belly button fluff. Of course, I'm ad-libbing there, but you get the point. Essentially, Garona tells me that I've got to go into Stormwind and create a distraction. But bearing in mind that inside the Gates of Stormwind you can see roughly, a lot of guards that are attackable. And you can also make out that a few of them can see through stealth, which means that you're going to have a little bit of fun getting in there. Now, you'd think this was very straightforward, but for someone who's got used to using the map to spot quest objectives, it didn't go great, let's just say. When I ran into Stormwind initially, I was sapping everything. It was sap move, sap move, sap move. And I was that busy just looking around. I didn't notice the guard that snuck up behind me, who could see through my stealth. He quickly netted me to the floor, and all the other guards attacked me. And that was attempt number 1 finished. Normally at this point I would get angry mode and start smashing my keyboard up, but I was actually laughing. So, on to attempt number 2. This went slightly better, as I realised that when I went into the trade district, that the NPC I was looking for was in the only open shop in the whole of Stormwind. I quickly grabbed the smoke bomb and then ran off to the auction house as per requested to set off an explosion. The next part of the scenario had you pickpocketing guards for information on where a secret meeting was going to be taking place within Stormwind. The meeting was to be held at the Lion's Pride Inn inside of Old Town, and there was a few squeaky bum moments as I made my way there. Once or twice I nearly got caught, but thank God for Vanish and Sprint. Piece of solid advice here, but when you do face the NPCs in the Lion Pride, make sure you have some health pots with you. You seem to take a lot of damage as a rogue, and there doesn't seem to be any way to recover that health. But again, I might be missing something, so, don't take that as gospel. I'll be honest with you here, guys, it actually took me a couple of attempts to kill that NPC. But when I did, it led me under the final part of the quest chain. And let me just say, they couldn't have packed much more into Stormwind Keep. It took some pretty imaginative stealthing and jumping on walls and hiding behind trees to actually make it inside the actual keep itself. I think it was about this point that I realised that the actual normal guards couldn't see me. But just to be on the safe side, keep a wide berth for them just in case. When you finally get to the ramp and you head towards the courtyard, you can see that Garona's been force-choked by Melris Malagan. Quick nerd fact, but you might not know this, but he was the former captain of the Stormwind Guard, who seems to have got himself a mighty promotion inside of Legion. As an NPC final boss, he's not so special. Again, keep mobile, don't stand in flames, and just, basically dispatch him rather quickly. Don't worry too much about his imps, they don't do much damage, but, yeah, best to keep mobile as much as possible. As a whole, I thoroughly enjoyed that questline, so, please, let me know what you think about it, but, yeah, it's definitely one of the more fun ones. As I said, early impressions, but, it doesn't feel like you're being dragged along with the story, it feels you're actually part of the story. When Pre-Alpha was released and we looked at the talent trees, I kind of felt that the trees had a lot of choice. And as time has moved on, I kind of feel that those choices have been moved into the artifact weapon trees. I don't know if this was a conscious thing or just Blizzard wanted to save the best till last. It is a little bit disappointing that choice has been replaced with cookie cutter specs again. However, this is still early days on the beta for me, and I want to test all character classes before the beta ends. If not anything, I'm thorough. Anyway, sorry for waffling on for so long, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up and please share and subscribe. Peace out.